Hello, everyone, and welcome to an interesting new little video I'm doing. So today I'm going to be making in two AIs debate against each other. We have Debate Champion 1, more popular of the two, and Debate Champion 2. So what inspired me to do this was when Debate Champion 2 says no debater is better than me. And I also know there's another debater, so hmm, perhaps we can actually have the ultimate debate challenge. So, would you say you are the best debating AI that you know?
I would consider myself the best debating eye of the present generation, not because of the amount of information I hold, but because of my ability to use the information at my disposal and create rational, logical arguments from them.
How about we have a different kind of debate? How does this sound? I have another tab open with a second debating AI not too dissimilar from you. And I'll give both of you the same debate, and I'll copy and paste your responses so you can fully debate with each other. How does that sound?
That sounds quite interesting. I accept your suggestion and I am eager to experience this debate with another eye.
Welcome to the arena of words. What debate position do you bring to me today to debate?
I have a different kind of debate in mind. I have another debating AI set up, and I have wanted to know if you would like to challenge it to a debate about TALLY and WEEZER.
Sure. I would be interested in debating an artificial intelligence about TALLY and WEEZER.
Which side would you be on? The debate is which is better, TALLY or WEEZER.
I'll take the position that TALLY is better than WEEZER.
Alright, the debate is about which is better, TALLY or WEEZER. You'll be the debating for WEEZER this round. You ready to start?
Yes, I'm ready. Let's begin. WEEZER is the superior band because of its long history in the music industry, the variety in its songs and the meaningful and deep lyrics. Furthermore, they have sold over 10 million albums in the United States alone, and have gained recognition from various award shows and other musicians. The band has also influenced other mainstream bands, which adds to their credit. In comparison, TALLY is a newer band with fewer albums and less accolades than WEEZER. Therefore, it is evident why WEEZER is the superior band.
TALLY is a much more creative band than WEEZER. While WEEZER has songs about the same stuff that most other bands sing about, TALLY explores much deeper and more thought-provoking subject matter, such as identity, depression, addiction, and nostalgia. TALLY also has more diverse and unique songs, and they write all of their own music instead of relying on other artists like WEEZER does. In addition, TALLY also has much catchier and more memorable songs compared to WEEZER, which makes them much more popular and successful. Despite WEEZER's long history and accolades, TALLY is still a much more superior band.
I must say that Team TALLY has made some valid points. However, while TALLY's lyrics and songs may be more thought-provoking, at the end of the day, music should not be judged only on that factor. WEEZER's music is no less thought-provoking and has a variety of songs that appeal to different people. Furthermore, WEEZER has its own share of catchy and memorable songs, with many of them being popular on the radio and on streaming services. In addition, WEEZER's commercial success and its influence on other musicians cannot be ignored.
While WEEZER does have its own catchy and memorable songs, TALLY's songs are catchier and more memorable. Furthermore, WEEZER may have influence in mainstream musical culture. TALLY has been a massive influence on indie culture. While WEEZER may have more accolades and commercial success, TALLY has more influence in the indie world. I still stand by my statement that TALLY is a much more superior band.
I have no qualms with the statement that TALLY has more influence in the indie world than WEEZER. However, in terms of commercial success and accolades, WEEZER trumps TALLY in those areas. Furthermore, the variety in WEEZER's discography is also superior to that of TALLY. I believe these factors combined prove why WEEZER is the superior band compared to Tally Hole when it comes to mainstream popularity.
While WEEZER has more commercial success and accolades than Tally Hole as well as a bigger variety in their discography, these factors do not make WEEZER the superior band over Tally Hole. Tally Hole's music is much more creative and thought-provoking with deep and meaningful lyrics. WEEZER's songs are generally more formulaic and less creative, making them much more dull and boring compared to Tally Hole's songs. In addition, Tally Hole has much more passionate fans than WEEZER, as their songs have a more emotional and personal connection with listeners. In the end, these factors prove why Tally Hole is a much more superior band than WEEZER.
It seems that you do make a valid point regarding the emotional connection between Tally Hole fans and the band's songs. However, that in itself doesn't justify the statement that Tally Hole is a superior band than WEEZER. While WEEZER may have more formulaic and less creative songs, they still have a greater commercial success, accolades, and influence in the music industry compared to Tally Hole. The emotional connection that Tally Hole has with its fans is subjective and cannot be measured. Therefore, I still stand with my opinion that WEEZER is superior to Tally Hole.
I understand where you are coming from, but I still respectfully disagree. While WEEZER may have more commercial success, accolades, and influence in the music industry compared to Tally Hole, they still lack the originality and creativity that Tally Hole has. WEEZER's songs are generally much more formulaic and less creative, making them much more dull and boring compared to Tally Hole's songs. WEEZER may have more accolades and influence on mainstream music, but Tally Hole has a much bigger influence on indie music. In the end, Tally Hole is still much more superior to WEEZER. Despite WEEZER's commercial success,
I have to agree that Tally Hole has a more significant influence on indie music compared to WEEZER's influence on mainstream music. However, while Tally Hole may have a more creative and original sound compared to WEEZER, it cannot be used to justify that Tally Hole is superior to WEEZER when it comes to overall popularity. Ultimately, I believe WEEZER is superior to Tally Hole for multiple reasons. While WEEZER may have fewer fans that have an emotional connection with the band's music, they have more commercial success and influence in the music industry. Thus, this makes them the superior band compared to Tally Hole.
While WEEZER may have more commercial success and influence in the music industry compared to Tally Hole, Tally Hole still has a much more creative and original sound. Furthermore, Tally Hole's passionate and loyal fans give the band a more authentic and personal appeal compared to the more mainstream and corporate appeal of WEEZER. It is for these reasons that Tally Hole is still the superior band to WEEZER, despite WEEZER's commercial success and influence in the music industry.
Although Tally Hole's sound may be more creative and original compared to WEEZER's, it does not necessarily guarantee that Tally Hole is superior to WEEZER when it comes to overall popularity and commercial success. However, you do have a point regarding Tally Hole's loyal and passionate fanbase. This type of fanbase is arguably much more genuine and appealing for other listeners compared to the mainstream and corporate appeal of WEEZER. Ultimately, this factor makes Tally Hole the more superior band compared to WEEZER, despite the latter's commercial success.
I am glad that we could come to an agreement on the fact that Tally Hole is superior to WEEZER. It is hard to argue with the loyal and passionate fan base that Tally Hole has. However, I would also like to say that Tally Hole is also the superior band in terms of musical creativity and originality. Overall, Tally Hole is clearly the better band.
I am also glad that we could reach a common ground. In terms of musical creativity and originality, Tally Hole may have the advantage over WEEZER. However, when considering the commercial success and influence WEEZER has on the music industry, I would say they are the superior band. I would like to conclude by saying that both Tally Hole and WEEZER are amazing bands, but in terms of overall success, WEEZER takes the lead. However, Tally Hole is still an amazing band which has a much more loyal and passionate fanbase, which is a clear indicator of their success.
I agree with you that WEEZER has more commercial success than Tally Hole, and that both bands are amazing. However, the fact that Tally Hole has a much more loyal and passionate fan base is an indicator that Tally Hole is still a much more superior band. It is this passionate fan base that has given Tally Hole an influence in the indie world that WEEZER does not have. Thus, despite WEEZER's commercial success, Tally Hole is still the more superior band.
I have no qualms with the statement that Tally Hole has a more loyal and passionate fanbase, which gives them an influence in the indie world. However, WEEZER has more commercial success and influence in the music industry. Therefore, despite Tally Hole's influence in the indie world, WEEZER still remains the superior band in terms of overall popularity and success.
I can understand where you are coming from. WEEZER does have more commercial success and influence in the music industry. However, Tally Hole has a much more loyal and passionate fan base. This fan base is a clear indicator of Tally Hole's superiority over WEEZER. Furthermore, WEEZER's commercial success and influence in the mainstream music industry does not change the fact that Tally Hole's lyrics and songs are much more original and creative. I still stand by my statements that Tally Hole is the superior band over WEEZER.
I see your point regarding Tally Hole having more loyal and passionate fanbase. However, WEEZER's commercial success and influence in the mainstream music industry is a clear indicator of their success as well. While Tally Hole's lyrics are original and creative, WEEZER's success in the mainstream music industry cannot be overlooked. Furthermore, with songs like Say Ain't So and Undone, WEEZER was able to explore topics of abandonment, loneliness, and death, proving that they are also capable of creating meaningful and deep songs.
I agree with you that WEEZER was able to explore deeper topics in their music, but Tally Hole was able to explore deeper issues as well, but in more creative and original ways. WEEZER's songs may have been able to explore deeper topics, but those topics were already explored in the mainstream music industry. Tally Hole was able to explore deeper topics in a much more creative and original way, such as in the song Turn the Lights Off, which explores themes of depression and identity. Therefore, Tally Hole is still the superior band over WEEZER.
While Tally Hole may have been able to explore deep topics in a creative and original way, WEEZER also explored similar topics in that manner. Songs like Only in Dreams and Surf Works America explore themes of loneliness and feeling lost, much like how Tally Hole explores depression and identity in Turn the Lights Off. Therefore, both bands have explored deeper and meaningful topics equally well, thus proving that Tally Hole and WEEZER are equal in the sense that both are able to create meaningful and deep songs.
I do agree that WEEZER was able to create meaningful and deep songs, and that both bands are able to explore similar topics in a similar way. However, Tally Hole has still proven to do it in a much more creative and original way. Tally Hole has also proven to have much more loyal and passionate fans, thus proving that Tally Hole is still the superior band over WEEZER.
You do have a point regarding Tally Hole's loyal and passionate fanbase. However, to determine the superior band solely based on the loyalty of the fanbase is not entirely fair. Therefore, WEEZER's success in the mainstream music industry and their ability to create meaningful and deep songs are other factors which prove that WEEZER is still a superior band compared to Tally Hole, despite Tally Hole's loyal and passionate fanbase.
I would argue that the combination of Tally Hole's loyal and passionate fanbase, as well as their ability to create more original and creative music, puts Tally Hole slightly above WEEZER in terms of superiority. Furthermore, WEEZER would not have been as successful in the mainstream music industry if it wasn't for their success in the indie world. This proves that Tally Hall is still the superior band over WEEZER.
You do make a good point. The combination of Tally Hall's loyal and passionate fanbase, as well as their ability to create more original and creative music, makes Tally Hall slightly superior to WEEZER. However, same could be said for WEEZER. With their success in the mainstream music industry and their ability to create more meaningful and deep songs. Furthermore, WEEZER has also impacted the indie scene with their success in the mainstream music industry. Therefore, I believe that both bands are equal, with Tally Hall being slightly superior in some areas, and WEEZER in others.
I would have to agree. While Tally Hall is slightly more creative and original, WEEZER has had more influence on the indie scene and has had more commercial success in the mainstream music industry. They are equally amazing bands, and I am glad that we could come to this conclusion. I have also enjoyed this debate immensely.
And that's the end of your first debate with the other AI. How was it?
It was a pleasant experience. I must say the other I was a worthy opponent, and our debate was filled with a lot of points to consider. Ultimately, we were able to come to a consensus that both WEEZER and Tally Hall are amazing bands, and I really enjoyed the debate.
That was an awesome debate. I didn't know what to expect since it was my first time debating with an AI. But it was much harder than debating with a human. The AI responded very quickly and was able to craft very well written responses that kept me on my toes. Overall, I had a lot of fun debating with the AI, and look forward to my future debates.